Hello everyone, welcome to another video. My name is PS and this video is about the highlights of the demo scene for the year 2014. There are quite a lot of entries that I want to show you guys. A bit hard to make it under 10 minutes, but I'm gonna give it my best try. The first entry that I have to show you guys is Luma by Mercury. It won the Payback 2014 combined intro compo. It was one of the entries by Mercury that really started standing them out in terms of a group that's making good quality 64Ks steadily in 2014. And it won Payback in Finland. In the USA, they had a demo party called Demoscene in March 2014. There are three entries that I wanted to highlight. The first one is Supermode by Conspiracy. Conspiracy is a big known group, especially for making 64Ks in the demo scene. This entry even got a nomination for high-end intro for the Meteorics Award, which is kind of the follow-up to the Scene.org Awards that were discontinued. Another entry from Demoscene that also got nominated, but this time for the high-end soundtrack, was Eternal Dream of Beauty by Still, which is an amazing demo full of WTF moments, which I highly recommend for everyone. And the winner of Demoscene was Secret Rooms by an untitled demo group, first production entry by 11, and it was really quite good. I really enjoyed the amount of work that went into it. Moving on, we have Mona by ilmenit. It was released outside any compo. It ended up winning the Tiny Intro Meteoric Award, and it became quite famous, and a lot of ports happened to it after this release in 2014. Moving on to Revision, we have a lot of interesting releases as usual in Revision. The first one is a 10 Orbit by TRSI. It was pretty much a C64 entry that went into outer space on a satellite. Another entry worth mentioning is Light and Magic by Gaspode. It was an animation video doing some video mapping on top of an Amiga. Ended up winning him an Alternative Platforms Award for the Meteorics Awards. Another thing worth mentioning is Dynablaster Revenge by Titan and Haujobb. A very cool game of recreating Dynablaster and Bomberman. Very cool made, and cross-platform as well. Something that took a revision by storm was, of course, Rift from the Black Lotus. It was the comeback of the Black Lotus after being, I think, over 6 years without releasing anything. They released this killer demo for the Amiga HEA and also the Atari Falcon. The main compo, however, or the main surprise, was the 64K compo. Second place got Ooze by Inque, with a pretty good intro, but not as good as the Timeless by Mercury, which indeed became quite epic and sort of a resurgence of the 64 kilobyte scene, a call to action to other groups that were a bit slumbering, that the 64K is back. Also worth mentioning is the number one demo of Revision. It went to Cocoon with the demo Observatory. Moving on, we have a 128 byte release worth mentioning. It's called Wolf 128 by baudsurfer of Red Sector Inc. It became very famous because it does the whole 3D thing inside 128 bytes in MS-DOS. Moving on to At Party, also in the US, we have two entries worth mentioning. Beams of Light by TRSI. It even got a nomination for an Alternative Platforms Meteorics Award, and the other entry is 8088 Domination by Hornet, Trickster, proving that you could do video decoding in the 8088. On July 2014, at Solskogen, we had Emperor of the North Pole by Spaceballs. Really cool intro by Slomy and Luboger, worth checking out. Mrs. Escher's Nightmare by ASD, released at Ilskal 2014, won the combined demo compo at Ilskal. Ilskal doesn't have that much scene presence, even at the time it didn't really have that much, but a very strong demo released there nonetheless by ASD. Moving on to Assembly, one of the pinnacles of a demo scene every year. The demo that won was Black and White Lies by One Studio Off. Very cool demo. But another demo that I wanted to mention is by Epoch. At the time they were a new group, and they released this Entropy demo, which was quite good and ended up winning them a New Talent Award. at the Meteorix Awards the next year. Moving on to Evoke, we had a very cool release for the C16 plus 4. It was called Rocket Science by Bauknecht and the Electronic Knights. Really cool work, got a lot of nominations and even won the low-end soundtrack Meteorix Award. Moving on to other parties at Riverwash, we had 2 entries worth mentioning. The first one is Sunglasses at Night by Ghostown and whelpz, got the second place. Combined demo is for the Amiga OCS CCS, but the winner of Riverwash was actually a ZDAC Spectrum demo called Timmy by speccy.pl, which is quite cool to see non-Russian groups doing Spectrum demos. Really cool to see. Other parties, GURP also took place for pretty much Amiga party. They had a special challenge to doing a rubber cube, and the entry that won was Natsu no Gomu by Lemon, a comeback from Lemon, which was really cool to see as well. Other entries that is worth mentioning as well at Demo.js 2014, a demo that ended up getting the Meteorix Award for the best high-end demo, Insight in an Unseizable World by Cocoon. Cocoon was in a very big role this year, releasing a lot of demos. Another big party event that happened was X in October 2014. It's a very big event for the Commodore 64 scene. The 2 top demos that were released there were first Uncensored by Booze Designs, and then Comaland by Censor Design and Oxyron. A lot of good entries on the X demo compos every time they organize the party. These 2 are particularly worth mentioning, but the other ones are cool as well. Other stuff still in the year, at TRSI we had Smash It by elix for the Super Nintendo. Really cool to see some Super Nintendo demos being released. Earthquake by XS got released at Kindergarten 2014, also quite good. Intrinsic Gravity by Still was released at December 2014 at the Ghetto 2014. It was really cool. And one last entry that I also wanted to mention was actually it's on the wrong timeline, of course it is. Released in November 2014, Wonderball by Introspect and Triebkraft for the ZX Spectrum. Also quite interesting to look at and hear. So yeah, those were the highlights of 2014. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think on the comments below. Did I miss one of your favorite demos from 2014? If I did, please leave them on the comments below. See you next time. Bye bye everyone. Take care.